Okay, let's move on. So, question 1I. The function f of k, well, it's big F of k, is defined for positive integers by f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 1, f of 3 is minus 1, and by the identities f of 2k is f of k, and f of 2k plus 1 is f of k as well. For k is greater than or equal to 2, the sum of 1 to 100 equals 1. Okay, so fine. Well, for these sequences, when we have no clue what's going on, the good thing to do is to try. Okay, so f of 1 is 1, right? F of 2 is also 1. F of 3 is minus 1. Now let's have a think. What is f of 4? Now f of 4 is f of 2, right? So which is 1. F of 5 is also 1, because it's still f of 2. Now f of 6 though, f of 6 is minus 1. And f of 7 is also minus 1. Okay, and you realize that f of 8 and f of 9 depend on 4. F of 10 and 11 depend on 5. 12 and 13 depend on 6. And 14 and 15 depend on 7. Okay, so you realize that there's some tree going on, right? Because the 8 depends on 16 and 17. Well, I mean the other way around, right? 16 and 17 depends on 8. And you see there's some tree going on. Okay, so the interesting thing to know is that, okay, for example, like let's say I group them like this, right? That is group, that is group. And these groups cancel out in general, right? Because there's 1 minus 1. There's 1 1 and then minus 1 minus 1. And the next group would be 8 to 15. And they're actually quite nice powers of 2s, right? And then they also cancel out. So the thing is that what are we left with? What is the last group possible here? Well, the last group possible goes up to like 63, right? 63. From 32 to 63. That's the last group, right? Because this group is 16 to 31. And the next group is 32 to 63. Okay, so the question the question simplifies into this, right? 64 plus f of 65 plus blah 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 plus 100. What is this, right? That's the main question. What on earth is this? Okay, so in that case, we have to figure out where the 1 ends. So for the group 64 to, well, technically the group is 64 to 127, right? So how many 1s would there be? Let's think about that. From 64 to 127, there should be 32 1s. Is that too high? Okay, there we go. 32 1s and 32 minus 1s, right? Okay, so 32 1s. So where on earth does that go to? So that is f of 64 until what? Until f of, if I can count properly, 95, right? So until f of 95 is still plus 1. It's still positive 1, okay? So f of 96 onwards, that is minus 1. Fine, okay. If we know that info, then we can compute, right? So this is 1 plus, until 95, right? That is 32. And, 96, 97, 98, 99, and then 100. Fine, okay. So that's 33 minus 5, right? Which is 28. Hooray. Okay, so yeah, just thinking about how do you group things and how do they cancel out? How do the 1s cancel out with the negative 1s? And think about powers of 2s and, counting properly, really. Yeah, so not a tough question. It's just annoying, annoying to count. Okay, so final answer is 28. Cool.